Okay, so we're going to be looking at how to name our organic compounds. So this first compound that we've got, the first thing we are going to want to do is look at the length of our carbon chain. Now we always look for the number of carbons we can have in a straight chain. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and either of those could be 6. Even though this is off at a branch, that could just be rotated, and this group and this group are actually interchangeable. But we have 6 carbons in a chain. Now, whether we want to number it from 1 to 6 or 1 to 6 is going to depend on our other groups that are present. But at the moment we know we have 6 carbons, so we're going to be looking at a hex prefix. We know there are no CC double bonds, and therefore we're going to be looking at an alkane. And then, so once we've got this 6 as our main chain, we can start to consider what's coming off it. So we've got an I, so this is going to be an iodo, and then we've got 2 methyl groups, and so this is going to be a dimethyl. And in terms of numbering, we want to number it so that our functional group is having our lowest possible number. So if we were to go 1 to 6 this way, we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, and this iodo would be on the 4th carbon. Whereas if we go in the other direction, 1, 2, 3, this iodo is now on the 3rd carbon. And so that's the way we order it, so that our iodo has the lowest number possible. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then our 2 methyl groups, they're on carbons 4 and 5. Now notice here I'm using a comma to separate numbers and a hyphen or a dash to separate numbers and letters. And our iodo one here is 3. And so when we're looking to tie it all together, we need to also consider the order of these 2 prefixes. So which one's going to come first? We consider alphabetically. So I comes before M in the alphabet. We don't worry about the fact that it's a dimethyl here. Methyl is the group that we're considering, just like iodo is the group we're considering. We're not concerned with the number of them when we're considering our alphabetical order. So I comes before M, so it's going to be 3 iodo. We're then going into numbers, so we need a dash, and then 4, 5, dimethyl, hexane. So this next question now, again we're going to start off by looking at our longest chain of carbons. So going across in a straight line here, 1, 2, 3, 4. However, actually we've got more carbons coming down here, so let's look at that as our straight chain, because remember, these 2 groups are interchangeable by rotation. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that 5 is longer than my 4, and so this is going to be my main carbon chain. So we've got 5 carbons, so we're looking at a pent prefix. There are no C double bond Cs, and so again we're looking at an alkane suffix. And so our groups coming off this carbon chain, well, we've got a methyl and we've got a bromine. So this is going to be a methyl prefix, and this is going to be a bromo prefix. So again, when we're considering our numbering of our carbon chain, we need it so that our functional group here, our bromine, has the lowest possible number. So going this way, 1, 2, 3, that would give it a 4, but going the other way we get 1, 2, and 2 is lower than 4, so it's going to be 2 bromo, and therefore 3 methyl. B becomes before M, so our bromo is going to go first, so 2 bromo going to a number, so we need a dash, 3 methyl pentane. So our next compound, again looking for our longest hydrocarbon chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Both are the same, so it doesn't really matter, but for simplicity of drawing my box, I'm just going to take our chain running through. So then, considering our functional groups that we've got, so we've got a C double bond O, we've got a CH2, CH3, and we've got an I. So we've got 6 carbons in a chain, and so we're looking at a hex prefix. Again, there are no C double bond Cs, so it's an alkane hydrocarbon. We have an ethyl group coming off. We have an iodo group coming off. And then this group here, because it's in the middle, i.e. it's got carbons either side of it, then this is a ketone. And this is now our primary functional group and is the one that we should be considering. So this gives us a suffix of "-one", but we still keep the "-an" because there's no double bond. So we're looking at a hexanone, but we need to number the position of this C double bond O, and we need to make sure that we're numbering this as our primary functional group with the lowest possible number. So going this way it would be in the 2 position, whereas in the other direction it would be in the 5. So we need to number it so that it's got the lowest number, i.e. the 2. So it's going to be a 2-one, and therefore our ethyl is in the 4 position and our iodo is in the 3 position. So this one is our suffix, but we need to consider our ordering of our prefixes, our ethyl and our iodo. E comes before I in the alphabet, so the ethyl group is going to be first. So we've got 4 ethyl, then we're going to a number, so it's going to be 3-3 iodo, and then we're going to hex and 2-one. And now our final compound, we are looking for our longest carbon chain, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what functional groups we have? Well, we've got a C double bond C, we've got 3 methyl groups, and we've got a bromo. So start with, we've got 6 carbons in a straight chain, so we're looking at a hex prefix. We have a C double bond C, so we're looking at an ene. We've got a bromo present, and we have a trimethyl, because there are 3 methyl groups, and we need to now consider our numbering. So our alkene is our primary functional group, and so we want to number it so that our alkene, so either of these 2 carbons, is the lowest number possible. So going left to right, it would be 1, 2, 3, it would be a 4. but going right to left, it would be 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this bromo is now in the 4 position. We also have a methyl on the 4 position, but 2 methyls on the 5. So we need to signify all of those. So 4, 5, 5 to show you've got 1 methyl, 2 methyls, 3 methyls on those carbons. So pulling it all together, looking at our prefixes to start with. So B versus M of the methyl. B comes first, so it's going to be a 4 bromo. Then 4, 5, 5, trimethyl, hex, and remembering to number where that carbon is, 2 ene. Just one final molecule to look at. So first looking at our longest carbon chain, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So because it's 5 carbons, we're looking for a pent prefix. There are no C double bond C bonds, and so we're looking at an ane suffix. Now considering what functional groups we've got an alcohol, and we've got a C double bond O, and because it's at the end of a molecule, i.e. there's only one carbon group attached to it, this is an aldehyde. Now, an alcohol can have either a prefix or a suffix, whereas our aldehyde can only have a suffix. So it's our aldehyde that's going to be the suffix with an al, and so instead we use our prefix for our alcohol, which is hydroxy. As our aldehyde is the suffix, this takes priority in the numbering, and so it will be in the 1 position. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so that alcohol has a prefix of 4-hydroxy. So bringing it all together, 4-hydroxy pentan al. Now notice we've dropped the E here because we're going from, we're having an AL suffix, so rather than it being EAL, we drop the E. It's that an bit that tells us that it's an alkane. So we just have the an, we don't have the E, and then we follow it through to the al. Where we need to pay close attention to including the E is if we are having a nitrile, then we would have the ane, we would have that E because we're not being followed by a vowel. So things such as alcohols, ketones, carboxylic acid, which we'll look at next year, but because they all start with a vowel in their suffix, we drop the E from that ane. But here we're starting with a consonant, and so we keep that E in place.